Hello and welcome to Ignite Your Sexuality with me, Sarah Rose Brights. And in these videos, I'm sharing amazing, inspiring, and really practical tips and how-tos to help you to enhance sex pleasure and intimacy in your life and ignite your sexuality. And this comes from my decade as a sex, pleasure, and intimacy coach. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this is for you if you're always busy, you're always on the go, you never feel like intimacy and pleasure or not very much, or you feel you can't find the time if you want it. And I'm going to share with you one tip that can absolutely transform this. So if this sounds like you, then please stay tuned. A common reason people don't create time for sex, whether it's on their own or whether they're partnered, is they don't know how to transition from the busyness of everyday life into feeling sensual, feeling relaxed, feeling sexy. And they think, and I see this all the time, they think they don't have time for it, they're too busy, they don't feel desire. So they think they don't feel desire, so I'm not going to bother. And often for good reason. I mean, there's a whole spectrum of things that might be affecting this. You know, you might be exhausted, you might be stressed, you might have young kids or caring responsibilities, you might be having relationship difficulties, all sorts of different things can be happening. And so, you know, and there may be many reasons why actually this isn't possible. So I'm certainly not saying to override things like, you know, for example, like I had a couple of clients recently, and they were wondering why they weren't enjoying sex, and they'd experienced 5 bereavements within a 12-month period. And so, you know, certain things we just can't force or overcome. We need to allow them and give them their time to happen. For example, like bereavement. Or if we're recovering from an operation or whatever it is, there can be reasons why, or we need to address the unhappiness in our relationship, not our sex life, for example. However, there is many people that I work with where that's not the case. They just tell themselves they're too busy, they don't feel desire, they don't have the time, all of these different things. And so if this is you, what I'm going to share with you, this tip is can actually totally transform this. And the tip is to create transition time for yourself. So transition time is like it's like a crossover. It's a bridge to switch gears from super busy to-do list lifestyle, which is very common, through to creating time for relaxation and pleasure. Now, this might be something that's super hard for you. And so I'm going to do more videos around this. So for example, if you're somebody that doesn't ever put themselves first, or if they do feel really guilty about it, that's something that might be get in the way of this. However, I invite you to try it. And so sometimes by doing new behaviors, the old ones fall away. So to transition from busyness to relaxation, to switching gears, is a practice that takes time to find out what works for you. And so I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. So first of all is actually knowing it's possible, that you do have a choice, that actual relaxation, sensuality, sexiness is a state that you can create rather than feeling that you have to wait for it to happen. And if it doesn't happen, you're not going to do it. So and it's even more important if your sexual desire is a more responsive type. So some people's sexual desire is spontaneous, meaning it just happens automatically and you don't have to think about it, it just happens. But many people, their sexual desire is what's known as responsive. It means something really lovely has to happen for you to respond to it and for your desire to be activated. And if nothing happens for you to respond to, then you may not feel desire at all. But if something wonderful happens, for example, you know, going out for the evening somewhere beautiful, or having a lovely massage or a bath, or your partner saying things that really turn you on, whatever it is, when things happen for you to respond to, then your desire is activated. And many people think that because their desire they're not having desire, there's something wrong with them. It's just their desire type is responsive. And this alone actually is a really incredible thing to be aware of. So creating that transition time is really important, because otherwise life can rush by, and before you know it, months and years have gone by and you're still in that busy to do mode, burnt out, exhausted, and it's becoming just, more and more common. And we think if we stop, or we're not achieving, or we're not doing anything with a tangible outcome, we don't have any value or purpose. And actually, this is what leads to so much burnout and exhaustion. So creating time to transition is to do it consciously. Whether that is saying that you're going to say, right, I'm going to just switch off my computer right now, if that's you're involved with a computer, or any work that you've brought home, or if you're working at home, shutting the door, or switching the computer off. It might be, for some people, changing gears might be going to walk the dog or going out for a walk. It might be doing some exercise, whether it could be, for some people, that might be going for a run, someone else doing yoga, someone else just doing some stretching. It might be having a shower or a bath. I had a client who, she would light candles, and that would be her sort of her ritual to say that this is the end of this day of work, and I now step into a different zone, and really have that separation from busyness and work into relaxation. It could also be pleasure practices. So that might be self-massage. Breast massage for women is one of my favorite ones. It might be massage with your partner. It might be doing some dancing. It might be whatever feels really good to you. And so that's the key. So get clear on what helps you to transition. It might be also something really important to say. For you, it might be time on your own. For your partner, it might be time together to debrief the day. So you need to be aware of that. You might have different needs and different wants to transition. And also, this totally is equally as valid as if you're having a sexual experience on your own as well. So get clear on what helps you to transition out of gear. If you don't know, explore, because it's such a valuable thing to learn. And my clients, when they do this, say not only are they more open and receptive to having more pleasurable time and feel better about themselves and their bodies and have more connection, they also find that they might sleep better, or they have more energy in the day. They have lots of wonderful side effects that happen from this practice. Creating time for pleasure, and relaxation is so important. It's so good for you. It's so good for your health and well-being. I'm going to put a link for you to watch after this video called Pleasure as the Antidote to Stress, so you can understand some of the science behind it. And it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. I'm a great believer in micro practice, which is just little moments, couple of minutes here, couple of minutes there. And as you put those little minutes in and you start to enjoy them, you want more of them. And that's how they become habits. If you think I've got to put an hour aside or half an hour, you probably won't do it. Whereas if you think, right, I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes and see what happens, then you want to do more of it if it feels good. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more of these videos, to like or share and comment on this video. Please do sign up for my newsletter. There's a link below where there's a free gift for you. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day.